I remember the doctors telling my mom that 1 in 4 women with anorexia will die from it, and I was going to be that one because my heart rate wasn't bouncing back. I was actually hospitalized for heart failure when I was hospitalized. It wasn't for the actual eating disorder, and my body just wasn't reacting. It wasn't reacting to the nutrition. It wasn't reacting to the medicine. Like, nothing was taking. And I remember my mom sitting me down and asking me if I wanted my life to amount to be a statistic, because she said, you will be a statistic. You will be that 1 in 4, and if you lose your life over this, you're just going to be something that someone may or may not learn from. You'll be that mistake. And then I recovered, went to college. I was a college cheerleader, and we had to do bod pods, where you sit in a little machine and it like measures your body fat. And that just triggered right away, and we had to sign in to work out 3 times a day because our coach wanted us at college, it was a D1 college cheerleader. We had to be like at the top of our game. And it just triggered again, and I actually left after a football game. I drove back home from college. I said, it's been fun, but I gotta work on my health. Admitted myself again, and I was even worse off than the first time. And the second time, my best friend Erin, who was there for me through everything, she looked at me and she was like, Lex, if you think you're fat, what do you think of me? And I noticed that she was starting to do the same tendencies I would. She would tear up her food really small. She would eat slow. She would constantly like pinch somewhere on her body, and I felt horrible because I was like, this is my best friend. And if my tendencies are projecting onto her to where she doubts herself, I'm not being a best friend. And what that's doing is I would never wish, what I went through on my worst enemy, let alone my best friend. So that's when you realize that, the things you do can affect people. And so that's when I really realized, I need to turn this for a positive. And I started bodybuilding and got to a healthy weight. That's why I started bodybuilding and maintained a healthy lifestyle. And that's why I've been so open about it now. It's because when I was in the hospital, we had athletes come visit us. We had soccer players and everyone come visit us. And I remember thinking, you don't know what I'm going through. You can't tell me that I'll be fine. You can't tell me to get better because you don't know what I'm going through. And so that's why I've been very open, because I know how I was in that mental state, and the fact that I didn't have someone to look up to say, you can get through it and it doesn't have to define you. So I've always now want to be that voice for people.
There's such pressure put on women to look a certain way and to be a certain thing. How have you managed in your head to kind of say, well, I'm happy with who I am?
I know that anytime I post a picture on social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, I know that I'm opening myself up to comments from people, because everyone's a critic, everyone knows better, and everyone has an opinion. And so you just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. And at first it was very difficult because the only reason I got better was because of bodybuilding, and that's what I loved about it. And, people, when I came here, people were like, oh, she was just a fitness model. She was just a bodybuilder. But no, it wasn't just a bodybuilder or just a fitness model. That saved my life.